parents leave for work, they leave behind their most precious responsibility, their children. They trust that a daycare will offer care, comfort and safety. But in Bengaluru, that trust has been shattered. Disturbing videos from a daycare inside Capgemini's Brookfield campus have sparked shock across the country. The footage shows toddlers, some as young as 2 years, being subjected to cruel and dehumanizing treatment by the very caregivers who were meant to protect them. According to police, the videos showed toddlers being threatened when they cried, locked inside bathrooms, sprayed with water using a toilet jet, forced to sit on toilets as punishments, and in the most disturbing visual of all, placed inside a front-loading washing machine. Just listen to this. Now, these are children who cannot even fully express what they are feeling. Children who depend entirely on the adults around them for care, safety and love. The daycare catered to the children of tech professionals working at the campus. Parents who left their sons and daughters there believing they were in safe hands. The alleged abuse came to light after a child helpline received 4 videos documenting the incidents. According to investigators, the footage was recorded by a staff member of the daycare. Sources say the recording was made after a colleague was terminated, and the videos were later shared with the child helpline, triggering immediate police action. The HAL police have registered a case against 5 caregivers, Manjula, Vijayalakshmi, Bhavani, Sindhu and Bindu, under the Juvenile Justice Act and provisions of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita related to the criminal intimidation. The women have been served notices to appear for questioning. Police have also inspected the daycare, seized CCTV footage and are speaking to parents to find out whether their children had shown signs of distress or unexplained changes in behavior. In response to the incident, Capgemini has temporarily shut its Bengaluru campus daycare facility. In a statement, the company said the health, safety and well-being of its employees and their families remain its foremost priority. It said it is cooperating fully with authorities and has closed the facility as a precaution while the investigation continues. Let's show you what the police have said.
In the HAL police station limits, we got a complaint yesterday from the child protection officer, and as per the complaint, which is against mentioned 5 names have been mentioned of women staff who are working in a daycare facility in an IT sector company. As per the complaint and the videos which have been given as part of the complaint, we are going through it. The Joint Commissioner East and the Deputy Commissioner in charge of Whitefield, both are there at the place right now. They are verifying the facts, but whatever has happened is really very serious issue, and we will take the strictest action. We were not aware of this incident, but when we came to know of it, immediately case has been taken up. Not only this, we will be looking into any other facilities which are running like this. If they are running as per the rules and regulations, we will ask the concerned departments which has given the complaint to give us a list of wherever these type of daycare units are functioning and whether they are authorized, whether they are following the guidelines. So this is a very, very serious incident and we have taken up in the earnest.
Now, while the police probe is still underway, the incident has raised a much larger question. How safe are the places where thousands of working parents leave their young children every single day? Workplace daycares have become a necessity in modern India, offering parents the reassurance that their children are just a few floors away. But when the people hired to nurture children are accused of terrorizing them, it shakes the confidence in the entire system. For the parents involved, this is not just about a police case, it is about the fear that their child may have suffered in silence, unable to find the words to tell them what happened. Now, the latest information reveals that authorities investigating the alleged abuse of toddlers at the crèche operating inside Capgemini's Bengaluru campus have alleged that earlier complaints about the facility were ignored and the employee who raised concerns were dismissed. before the case came to light. Now, the investigation will determine the facts, but the videos have already left the nation asking a painful question. If even a place meant to protect a child can now become a place of fear and horror, how can that trust ever be restored? Brinda Adige is joining us, social activist in this. Brinda, this is absolutely horrifying. Will these parents be able ever to return to work again without the fear of where their children are and how they're doing?
They will have to return to work. But what the Capgemini management and senior leaders must assure is something like this would never ever happen. And that can be done only when there is monitoring and supervision, strict, diligent monitoring and supervision. Now, if these caregivers have done something like this for ages and they have got away, we cannot only talk about the caregivers as the careless fellows, ladies. We should also talk about those under whom the daycare center was running. Somebody would have been in charge. Somebody would have been put to supervise all of them. And were they trained, or were they just, given the job out of whatever necessities? Because usually to cut down on salaries and things like that, you just give it to someone who may not be trained, who may not be held accountable. And the assumption being that they are doing it out of sheer goodwill. So that is why there is no accountability. So here we have to ask, you should understand that a large number of women do not go to work because there is no child care. There is no support for child care. You don't have large joint families, or you can't depend on your parents and relatives alone. You have to employ somebody. And you and I know that we can't all the time leave children in our homes and go away. So the Capgemini technology having a daycare center in that same premises, absolutely a boon to a lot of parents who are working there. So that is something that cannot be minused or taken away. Now they have to tighten themselves and say that these are children. And if children are not safe, how can parents work? What would be their production? How will they deliver what they are supposed to deliver if they are going to be bothered and worried? But after all of this, just imagine the trauma, the pain, and torture that these children went through, and they'll never be able to talk about it, speak about it. Where are the words? How are they going to describe it to us?
Right, but shouldn't Capgemini also be held accountable? Because earlier there were complaints that were raised, but the person who had raised the complaints was dismissed.
Gemini absolutely has to be held accountable. So caretakers are secondary people. They were there at that spot, but who are the supervisors? Who are the ones who are supposed to have been vigilant about what is happening over there? Because their employees trusted this management, trusted the leaders, and said, okay, I can leave my child here. And so they did it. The Capgemini management and top leadership cannot wash off their hands. After the initial statements, I'm sure the police will register a case also on the management and those who are directly responsible for the running of the daycare center. They will also be under the same criminal sections that these people were put. They may not have directly done anything, but the fact that this impunity continued was because of the lackadaisical attitude, the callous, uncouth, careless attitude of the management saying, acha chalta hai, let it happen. Let's see who complains. And like you mentioned now, somebody who has complained has been thrown out of their job. So if this is what they are doing, will they do this in any other country? Could they have gotten away doing this in any other country? Why do they think they can get away in India?
Of course, those big questions remain. Brinda, thank you for speaking to us for now.